Okay guys, so I'm going to give you my review between my Samsung Galaxy S6 and my iPhone 6. Now take note guys that I have been a full-time user now on both of these phones. Okay, now let's talk about in regards to the camera. Okay, now really guys, like between these two phones, the camera is, I mean, it's the best that I've ever seen. I mean, when I got the iPhone 6 at first, I was like, you know, this iPhone 6 camera, video, everything blows out every other phone like in the market until, you know, this S6 came out. And one of the biggest issues with the S5, the previous version, was like shutter speed and the autofocus. Like, do you guys have any like Samsung Galaxy phones? Like, you guys will notice that there's always a freaking like some kind of lag, you know? Like, you want to take the picture, then sometimes you have to wait like a second or two, and then it snaps the picture. It's so annoying, but check this out. Between these two here, let me see here. I mean, it's like right, the autofocus and the shutter speed is like right on time for both of them. Sometimes a little bit faster on the iPhone, sometimes a little bit faster on the S6 here. But I'm gonna snap them at the same time here. I mean, it's like right on point every single time, guys. Oh, there's a little tiny lag on there, but I mean, see, and this time the iPhone, the autofocus took a little bit longer. But I mean, between these both, between autofocus and the shutter speed, it's the best. I mean, even like this Sony Xperia Z3, guys, like you would think, you know, Sony, it's made by Sony. Sony makes like cameras. And this is like a 20.7 megapixel camera as well. But I'll tell you, both of these phones here blow out the Sony Xperia Z3. There's absolutely no competition. Okay, so let's talk about like photos like in the daylight. Okay, when I first got my S6, it was like the photos in daylight were like, wow, it was like 100% perfect. It was like no other previous phone even came close to what the iPhone 6 can take a picture in daylight. And then when I got the S6, and I started downloading it to my computer, taking pictures with both of these phones, I can drastically see a difference that the actual daylight photos for the S6 is a tad brighter and just crisper, whereas the iPhone, it looks a little bit fuzzy. But you're not going to be able to tell unless you compare both of the pictures on your computer. Then you'll be able to see with your eyes. Okay, so let's talk about like photos in like low light or dim light. Like this is actually called like low light here because I have like sucky lighting here. But of course, if you go into like if you're having dinner at a place, you know, typically it's going to be a little bit more like dimmer. So between like low light, it depends on which low light situation I'm in. But most of the time, I can tell you that the Galaxy S6, that the pictures always seem like they're a little bit more brighter and crisper. With the iPhone 6, it's a little bit more blurry compared to the 6. So overall, definitely even in low light, the S6 blows out the iPhone 6. Okay, now this is really cool. Let's talk about the panoramic view, guys, that long view. Okay, now honestly, I mean, they both look pretty much similar. I can't really tell which one I like better. It's probably going to come down to preference because most of the photos, like the S6, looks a little bit more warmer than the iPhone 6. And when I say like warmer, basically it's like you see like a slight like orange tint, but you know, it's very light like orange tint or like a yellowish, reddish. But some people, you know, prefer to have like warmer pictures. For myself, I mean, you know, sometimes I like it warmer, sometimes I don't. Anyways, in the panoramic view, they both pretty much are the same. However, check this out. Because I didn't even know about this until like the other day, but you know, I've always been used to the this S6 here for quite some time. So when you put it in like panoramic view, and let me show you guys here. Let me put them both in panoramic view here. Now, see how I have it in portrait mode. Like you guys can take the panoramic view in like portrait mode like this. Well, check this out. You know, the iPhone 6 you can't take it in landscape mode, but check this out. That's pretty cool. You can take the panoramic view on the S6 in portrait mode or landscape mode, which is pretty cool. Because when I first got this S6, you know, I was always like trying to like, you know, trying to turn it over because I'm more used to like having it in like landscape mode. Okay, so let's talk about the flash. You know, when you're in dim light or in the dark and use the flash. Actually, when you use the flash, guys, more times than not, for some reason, the iPhone 6 picture looks a little bit more clear, and it just like lights your face up like in the right areas opposed to the S6. Okay, let's talk about doing selfies. Okay, now you guys know that the S5, I mean, the front-facing camera over here is like 1.2 megapixels versus a 5 megapixel on the S6. Now the thing is too, guys, like the S6 has a wide-angle lens, so when you're taking selfies, for example, like I'll show you here, like you're going to get a lot more. You'll be able to show a lot more using the S6, the front-facing camera, and you can see my hands are out. I don't know if you can see this, the same area. So I mean, this is cool. I kind of like the wide-angle lens better, guys, because you know when you're like with friends and stuff like that, and you know you want to get like everybody like in the picture. If you have short arms, or a lot of people have short arms, you're going to have to give the phone to somebody else to take the picture, because with the wide-angle lens, you're just going to be able to like get more, you know, more people into like the photo. Okay, let's talk about like image stabilization in regards to video. I mean, honestly, in regards to stabilization, there's no competition. The S6 is much more stable. So basically, like let's say for example, if it's like in the winter time, you have like shaky hands and you're kind of like shaking. When you watch the video on the S6, it's going to look a hell of a lot more smoother opposed to the iPhone 6. However, the only thing is like I said, I'm in Shanghai, so I was doing like a lot of recording. I was holding the video like this, and I'm in Shanghai where there's like a lot of like high rises and stuff like that. And I noticed like after I started doing the download the recording to my my laptop, I noticed that some of the images, you know, even though this stabilization was a lot smoother on the S6, like you know, looking at some of the buildings, some of the video, it kind of looked like the video was like kind of like warped, like on the sides a little bit compared to the you know, the iPhone 6. Things just looked more natural, even though it was a hell of a lot more shakier. But you know, going around like buildings and stuff like that, it looked like it was kind of like warped like on the sides. But anyways, overall, I mean, definitely with video, the image stabilization, it looks a hell of a lot better. You know, on the S6 opposed to the iPhone 6. Okay, so let's talk about like video quality and stuff like that, and like audio. You know, ever since I got the iPhone 6, guys, I've been using my iPhone 6 basically for my camera, for making like YouTube videos. But now that I got my S6, I'm going to be using my S6 more. Not only is the video a little bit more crisper and smoother, but the sound, my voice, when after I record a video and I see it on my computer, my voice is louder and it's clear opposed to the iPhone 6. But here's the catch though. When like I said, I'm in Shanghai now. So when I talk to my parents back in the US, when I do like a video chat with them, they say that between the two phones, and this is under the same Wi-Fi connection, that the video quality looks a little bit better on the S6, and of course they're able to see me more because it's a wider angle lens. However, they can hear me more clear and more louder on the iPhone 6. So I mean, with them, they prefer actually me speaking with them on the iPhone 6 because they said the picture quality, it's not really a big difference. It's a little bit better on the S6, but they rather prefer to have with the clearer and louder voice. So I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, like I said in the beginning of the video, like honestly, I pretty much almost gave up on the Samsung Galaxy S series until this S6 came out, and I gotta say, like overall, I gotta say, you know, from using this phone like full time now, that I do think that the S6 is a little bit more superior than the iPhone 6. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have questions or anything, just comment below. All right. Thanks.